Ladies and gentlemen, weebs and waifus, welcome to Kill World here on YouTube. And folks, I have to be honest about Season 4 of Demon Slayer, aka the Hashira Training Arc. But before we cover the latest season of Demon Slayer, please help a brother out and smash that like button on the video. It helps get the video out to more folks like you in the YouTube algorithm, and I would greatly appreciate the support. Now, without further ado, Demon Slayer Season 4, let's talk about it. So in case you were unaware, a compilation film titled Demon Slayer to the Hashira Training, which included the final Swordsmith Village arc episode and an advanced screening of the first Hashira Training Arc episode, premiered in theaters on February 2nd, 2024. Side note, also happens to be my birthday. And of course, I went to the movies and watched it in theaters with my friend, and I gotta be honest, I just remember being so excited initially to see early footage of the upcoming season. However, to say that I was disappointed once it was over is an understatement. All I can remember is looking my friend in the face and us both going, "Really? Is that it?" to each other. I just felt like I was longing for more. Now, don't get me wrong, structurally, everything was sound, and it served its purpose, but I don't know. I feel like when you hear Demon Slayer, your expectations are risen because of its reputation preceding itself, and then to get what we got was just lackluster, I'll say. But that wasn't going to deter me, of course, from continuing to watch Season 4, and seeing the story continue to develop as we fast approach the end of this great series. Let's start from the beginning, shall we? So Episode 1 of the Hashira Training Arc sees the Wind Hashira Sanazagawa and Serpent Hashira Iguro on a mission to rescue a kidnapped woman from a demon. While on said mission, they encounter an entrance to the Infinity Castle before it vanishes. During an emergency meeting led by Kaguya's wife Amane, the Hashira discussed the marks that appeared on Mitsuri and Moichiro in their battles, said to have originated from the Demon Slayers during the Sengoku period. Moichiro gives details of the physical conditions he felt that may allow the mark to appear on others. Knowing that Muzan will attempt to take Nezuko, the Corps enacts Hashira training for its personnel to condition them for the coming conflict. Each Hashira will lead a particular training regimen to strengthen the Corps' members and improve their skills. However, the Water Hashira Giyu refuses to participate. Now, whilst in hiding, Tamayo is visited by Kaguya's crow, who instructs her to ally with the Corps and work with Shinobu Kocho. In Episode 2, Tamayo informs Yoshiro of her decision to ally with the Corps. In a letter from Kaguya, Tanjiro learns of Giyu's refusal to join Hashira training, with Kaguya asking that he speak to him. Despite being repeatedly dismissed, Tanjiro persists. Eventually, Giyu explains his refusal to accept he is a Hashira. As a child, he trained with and befriended a similarly aged boy, Sabato. During final selection, despite Sabato defeating nearly every demon present, he was the only one killed, leaving Giyu guilt-ridden. In Tanjiro's attempt to encourage him, Giyu remembers Sabato's words, teaching him to value his life as a gift from his sister, who died protecting him from a demon. Realizing his attempts to forget them was to avoid his own grief, he decides to finally participate. Shinobu, believing the time is right, decides to tell Kanoi her plan regarding the demon who killed her older sister. Episode 3. After recovering, Tanjiro partakes in Hashira training. Reunited with Tengen and his wives, he faces the first stage assessing fitness and stamina, where he quickly proves to be the most capable of all the trainees present. That night, as two Demon Slayers are on patrol, they are unknowingly stalked by a mysterious marked eyeball. Now, the Wind Hashira and the Snake Hashira, meanwhile, are discussing their encounter in the castle and lessen demonic activity, believing it is the calm before the storm. The Wind Hashira then challenges the Snake Hashira to a fight, which he accepts. For a final exercise, Tengen plays the role of a demon hunting the trainees, who must work together to defeat him. Despite his superior strength and speed, Tanjiro is able to fight back and rallies the trainees to surround him. With his training now complete and his peers now inspired to work harder, Tengen allows Tanjiro to proceed to Moichiro's stage. We are now at the halfway point of the season, And in Moichiro's stage, Rapid Movement, Tanjiro sees the Hashira's strict attitude firsthand as he instructs and spars with his trainees, emphasizing perseverance even when injured. Moichiro, while acknowledging his harshness, intends for them to learn that even a single mistake could be fatal in battle. Later, he spars with Sanemi and Obanai, who have taken up nightly combat training to improve their own skills. Moichiro is impressed with Tanjiro's quick learning and ability to spar effectively with him, allowing him to proceed to the next stage. Before doing so, Tanjiro challenges him to a paper plane contest under the condition that he treats the trainees with kindness should he win. Though Tanjiro loses, Moichiro decides to change his attitude upon seeing the trainees' joy when flying their own planes. At Mitsuri's stage in episode 5, Flexibility, Tanjiro and the trainees dance to music and stretch themselves to become more limber, with Mitsuri forcing Tanjiro to do a split. Yikes. At Obanai's stage, Swordsmanship, Tanjiro must swing a bakken between bound trainees as he spars with the Hashira. Despite difficulty for the first several days, Tanjiro succeeds and moves to Sanemi's stage, joining Zenitsu. Sanemi, who has a vendetta against Tanjiro, ruthlessly pummels him as he spars with the trainees to build their resilience. Later, Genya attempts to gain his brother's acknowledgement, revealing that he eats demons in doing so. Angered, Sanemi lashes out at him, leading to a violent confrontation between him and Tanjiro that ends in Sanemi's training being suspended. As such, Tanjiro and Zenitsu proceed to the last stage, training with one of my personal favorite Hashiras, the Stone Hashira in Gyome. Episode 6. At Gyome's stage, Strengthening the Lower Body, trainees must withstand the torrent of a waterfall, lift 3 heavy logs, and push a boulder one cho to finish. Tanjiro and Zenitsu join Inosuke and fellow Demon Slayer Murata. Despite completing the first 2 tasks, Tanjiro struggles to move the boulder. Due to the stage's difficulty, trainees choose to leave and place their hopes in Tanjiro instead. Later, Genya reveals that moving the boulder requires repetitive action, a technique that involves focusing on certain memories to heighten concentration and increase strength. Tanjiro focuses on his family's memory and Kyojiro's message, manifesting his mark and allowing him to move the boulder. Elsewhere, the Biwa demon Nakame has located 60% of the Demon Slayers on Muzan's orders, who desires to find Nezuko and Kaguya. We are now at episode 7, and after completing the last task, Tanjiro is commended by Gyome, who remarks he has no doubts about him whatsoever. Unsure of what he means exactly, Tanjiro hears Gyome explain his past. He was a monk who cared for orphan children. One night, a child left his temple at night and encountered a demon, convincing it to spare him for Gyome and the others. The demon killed the children, save for one girl, and Gyome fought it until dawn to save her. The girl's remarks afterwards were misinterpreted, and he was imprisoned for murder, leaving him cynical and distrustful. Seeing Tanjiro now has convinced Gyome of his honest character and intentions. While on his way to Giyu, Tanjiro finds Zenitsu, now stern and serious after reading a letter he received. He witnesses a spar between Giyu and Sanemi, but Sanemi leaves when Tanjiro attempts to make peace. Later, Sanemi discovers Nakame's eye and realizes the core has finally been infiltrated, just as Muzan enters the Kaguya mansion. The season finale. Kaguya reveals Muzan's role in his illness. He was a member of the same bloodline, and the family was cursed as a result of his crimes as a demon. Muzan disregards their history and remains confident he will find Nezuko and become immortal. But Kaguya assures the demon of his failure. Unable to see his desire to become eternal pales in comparison to humanity's anger and will to survive. As the Hashira are summoned to the mansion, explosives level the entire area, sacrificing Kaguya and most of his family to stun Muzan. Tamayo appears and injects a human conversion drug into him before signaling the arriving Gyome to decapitate the demon with his flail. moves on heels and battles Gyomei as the rest of the Hashira and Tanjiro arrive. But as they attempt to corner him, Nakame opens doors to the Infinity Castle beneath them. Across the mountain, all active Demon Slayers, including Genya, Inosuke, Murata, Kanoi, and Zenitsu, are also transported and trapped inside the castle. Now that the Hashira Training Arc has come and gone, I have to say this. I feel like this season had two distinct moods. I'm sure some of you watching are familiar with the Barbenheimer memes. I would say that the first 7 episodes had a Barbie type tone to it, in the sense that it was more lighthearted and comedic, and as a fan I'm thinking, we're so close to the end here, and this is the vibe? And then the finale happened, and the tone completely shifted to an Oppenheimer tone, where things got very real very quick. Since the finale, it has been announced that the Infinity Castle arc will not be a traditional episodic season, but instead it will be adapted to a film trilogy. This has me intrigued because this is a pretty rare thing to do. It may be unprecedented altogether, but I cannot recall a time an anime series ended with a trilogy of movies. If it has, I'm sure the comment section will educate me. But this decision has left me with more questions. Will they release the movies all together or one at a time? How long will the movies be? It's just a very interesting move, and I look forward to seeing how it's all pulled off. All in all, I don't really feel this season is must-see for Demon Slayer fans, though. You can just get the gist of his trainings from this video and then watch the finale, because I do think the finale is worth watching. But other than that, this season doesn't cover too much in terms of actual content, since it's only adapting a few manga chapters anyway, and then adding new original material that can only be found in this anime. In the words of cupcake enthusiast EDP445,
I mean, it's alright, like...
If you have made it to this point in the video, a huge arigato to you, and if you are new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you have seen Demon Slayer Season 4 already, let me know who is your favorite Hashira and why. I love hearing from you all. And in the meantime and in between time, sayonara.